And we're back for game number 2 here, Moscow 5 versus mYi. Actually an insane game, like in retrospect, it's really 25k swing. That's even in 6.82 something you don't see every day. Either way, this is Joint Dota League Season 4, my name is HeflaTV, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm with someone right now. I was smoking, so I didn't really see it, but Blackadder should be with me.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Mr. Blackadder had the same fate as me, like we were both sick. Like he had a bit stronger, I don't know, flu, germ, whatever it was, some bug. That bug.
Whatever it was, it kicked my ass.
Yeah, like it's the same for me. Like fortunately I noticed it immediately, and yeah, as a med student I have some fancy pills that brought me up and running within like 4 days again or so. But still, I have a cough and my nose is still not clean. But it's enough for casting, I guess.
I've recovered the majority of my voice. There's only so much sleeping I can do over the last 2 weeks, but nonetheless, join Dota League Season 4. Moscow 5 versus mYi. Now, you're going to have to fill me in a little bit, Hefla. Who won the first game?
The first one was mYi. They had to be honest, everything was like a mirror match for 20 minutes, even 30 minutes. Moscow 5 was just ahead like 2 kills, and then they started to farm much better because they farmed both jungles. They were 2 kills ahead at some point, 5 kills ahead, and we had like a 10k lead on Moscow 5, and it started to go for high ground. Everything else was down, but then mYi, they came back, and that in a very convincing fashion. And then we had like a 25k gold and experience swing, and in the end mYi, they took the game. So Moscow 5 threw big time, and yeah, let's see what's going on in game number 2.
Well, we get that first pick Ogre Magi for mYi. Now, I would used to find that heavily unusual, not so much these days. We've seen some really bizarre strategies lately, and I've got to admit I do like this new patch for that kind of thing. But Moscow 5 helped themselves to a Skywrath Mage and a Bat Rider, so they've got control and burst damage available to them, as well as, of course, all that all-important amplification. But what interests me more is the bans. The actual ban on Legion Commander.
Yep, I can totally understand it, because mYi, they had a Legion Commander mid last game, and to be honest, I mean, he didn't have much like duels won, so he didn't bring like whoa crazy right clicks into the fights, but he shut down Blow Your Brain. Blow Your Brain was on a Timbersaw mid as well, so it was Legion Commander versus Timbersaw on the mid. But Blow Your Brain had a crazy game. He was owning, like, I'm not even kidding. I think Vigor's 3 was just there for the objective damage on a Razor, but like all the other damage, it mostly came out of that Timbersaw. It was just crazy. With the 2 chakrams flying, Blink Dagger, he had everything, even BOT, so he split pushed, he came fast into the fight. A Bloodstone with like, I don't know, 13 charges at some point. He came in almost instantly back to the fights, even when they focused him down. So he was, the base for their success, at least in the first half of the game. But then later, the Legion Commander shut him down pretty heavily.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But now, with the Razor pickup for mYi, they've got the Ogre, they've got the Razor. Are we thinking this is a core Ogre or a support?
Well, I mean, I think support. It has to be. I hope so, at least. Last game, and that's the interesting part, last game Moscow 5 banned out the Ogre plus the Void. Now we have the Legion Commander and the Void based, I guess, on their experience in the first game. But that means mYi, they instantly pick the Ogre. So that's kind of the trait they do at the moment. It seems like Moscow 5 knows mYi, or what they want to pick. But mYi is like, okay, you take Legion away, and we take Ogre instead.
Okay, well, in that case, if they're that adamant on banning the Ogre, I should think this will be an Ogre core, maybe solo, off, or safe lane, depending on how the lanes shape up. We've got the Razor, potential mid, could aggro try a Razor, it's a little bit more uncommon. But in this second ban phase, a Wraith King banned, so is the Medusa and that Sand King, with finally the Venge being removed. So a lot of single-target stuns and multi-target stuns being taken away in that banning phase. And going into this next picking phase, Moscow 5, they pick up the Sven, so there's that big cleaving right-click melee heavy hitter that we like to see.
That's pretty interesting, because mYi's main core safe lane farmer last game was the Sven, and it took a while till he came online. He had Midas up and running, and I mean, all the other towers down, pinned down to their base at some point, but still he managed to come out of it. Especially because the BKBs on the other side, they ran all down to 5 seconds. And, well, he made some strange decisions, I have to say. And blow your brain, if he wasn't shut down, he killed the Sven pretty easily on that Timber. Because you can't run away from a Timber, not as a Sven. It's just impossible. And let's see how Moscow 5 built their Sven. This could be still a support Sven. It could be just a misleading pick.
It could be, but Sven as a carry, you did say he does take some time to come online. He does need a good few items. The idea of a Timbersaw up against a Sven I like quite heavily. Timbersaw can purge or reduce the main stat of the Sven, being strength. It'll take away his damage, his health. It's a really powerful pickup against him. And you also have to consider right now, a Timbersaw could chew through the entire lineup of Moscow 5. Batrider, phenomenally squishy. Skywrath Mage, much in the same boat.
Yep, absolutely. Well, we have to see. I mean, the last 2 picks of Moscow 5, they definitely determined where they're heading. Like, since the Sven's position is not, for granted yet. On the other side, my Insanity again, Visage, just like last game, and the Razor already as a core. So I just assume this is our mid, which means we are open for 1 core. And to be honest, since we don't have crazy shutdown at the moment or lockdown, we could see a Spectre, for example, and then we need an offliner. Tidehunter is still in the center from last game, which my Insanity had, is still in. So if they want it, they could go for it again.
Well, when you look at a Visage and Ogre lineup, that does have a lot of burst damage. So you're looking for heroes that can stand up to the burst of my Insanity. Morpholing can do that. There's your core. Now we're just looking for that offlaner, or we could be looking for another support, and then it will be a mid-bat, a safe lane morph, and an aggro tri-Sven. But thing is, there's a Visage on the field, and this changes the scales quite heavily. He is the tri-lane destroyer. He's up there with Undying and able to take on a tri-lane. So this could be a very interesting laning phase, specifically in this game.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind the center coming back this game, just because of the Stampede. Stampede away from a Sven, Stampede away from a Batrider trying to pick you up, Stampede away from a Skywrath Mage slowing you. There's a lot of things how Moscow 5 can keep people in place or try to catch up to them, and a Stampede would definitely solve a lot of problems there. So maybe that's the offlaner we're gonna see again.
I do like the idea of the Stampede. I mean, how do you deal with a Sven? You deal with him like an Ursa. You kite him. You don't let him be able to unload his damage during his God's Strength. It's a good thought, actually. And when you think about it, Visage, Centaur, Ogre, Aggro Tri, play it similar to how the Finstack, Trixie and crew run their Centaur. But for this case, my Insanity will pick up the Bristleback instead. So instead we've got more negative armor, more right click.
Yep, but we get a Bristleback. A Bristleback is actually good news, because if that Morphling, for example, goes for Lincolns, then the Bristleback is one of the easiest heroes to remove, something like that. As for Sven and all the others, if the Bristleback is still alive, that didn't nuke him down, that means forever being slowed with the Nasal Goo, so they can't really go away. Talking about slows, we actually have 3 already on my Insanity, more than stuns. So right now we're looking at Nasal Goo, we're looking at the Visage obviously slowing some targets with the Crave Chill, and we even have the Ignite, which is another 20% or 26% on 4 points slow, plus damage obviously. So except for the Morph, they really have to be careful that the ganks they go for, they have to be precision strikes. If there's a turnaround, I don't think there's any running away, no escape, unless you have a BKB and TP out.
Well, especially with the Bristleback on the field, he can turn around better than many other heroes in this game. But the final bans do go through. We get a ban out on the Puck for Moscow 5, and my Insanity will take away that Viper.
Yep, Viper. To be honest, right now for my Insanity, I wish we could get another stun. Because the stuns was something that was kind of lacking last game. I don't know if you watched the cast or not, but in the end of the game I was like, come on guys, one of you build a Basher into Abyssal Plate, because after the 10th BKB TP out, I was like, come on, someone has to get that damn Abyssal Plate soon. But no, it never really came. And even right now, I would like to see another stun, just one, on maybe even either side.
Well, when I look at my Insanity's lineup, the idea of having a tri-lane bristleback, a mid-razor, and then a safe lane centaur. That could work.
Yeah.
And it would give you that high burst damage compatibility with the centaur and a visage, an ogre and a visage. You get the idea. But for Moscow 5, they will opt for the split pushing king, the nature's rat.
Wow.
Now,
but this is actually surprising because, you know, his pick rate is the lowest in the last 2 years, pretty much, of Dota 2. Like, the 6.82 is not Nature's Prophet friendly. And I don't even know why. It's not because he's weaker, it's just because other picks are stronger. Like, his pick rate is really going down.
well, the main thing Nature's Prophet does offer is split push, and when you mindlessly push towers in 6.82, you will lose. I mean, you get more glyphs when the tier 1s fall. You just get more power to turn around and fight. It's built around team fighting, not pushing anymore. And I do love the game style for that reason. But for the final pick, for my insanity, they will get themselves a Phantom Assassin.
That was, I mean, Spectre was my guess, but PA is not too far off, actually. I can live with the PA one. Only problem I have is, I mean, PA, if not BKB, we have Blow Your Brain, and in this case, Blow Your PA. And PGG, this is actually support Sven. We weren't too far off with this. I mean, PGG is playing him. So wait. Is this Vigos going mid on a Nature's Prophet? I mean, this is support Sven. King R and PGG going with the Morphling in the safe lane. In the off lane we have Tron, and mid Nature's Prophet. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of it, because last game they did pretty much the same. Vigos on the Razor being like the split pusher, you know, forcing my Insanity back, otherwise the Razor ultimate would have taken out half of the base while they were trying to get a tier 3 tower or something. I'm not so sure if this is really successful, because I don't know, the Ogre can stop him, the Visage can stop him, and the PA can kill him within seconds if he doesn't manage to somehow get a Y really fast. So let's see where this one is going. Pick a team and let's introduce them.
Well, for my insanity, we've got Milan playing that Phantom Assassin. We've got Zamaj is Nara Smai. We've got Smai on the Bristleback. We've got Lizard on the Ogre Magi. Standing in, of course, we've got Grazine on the Razor. And finally, we've got Hadawa on the Visage.
Oh, the way you say Hadawa is way sexier, I have to say. I always say, like, in my German accent, Hadawa. Or maybe it's more closer to like Japanese. But someone who loves like anime stuff probably knows what it means. Like, I'm completely clueless, I'm too old for that stuff. Either way, on the other side we have Tron here on the Batrider. Then already mentioned, we PGG on a support Sven, Blow Your Brain playing the Morphling, Vigos, Tratata on the Nature's Prophet, and last but not least is Mr. King R. And let's see, some spam in the chat and then we go for it.
So this is the point in the class where I have to turn around and ask you, who are you going to bet on in this game? Because I know where I'm going to put my money. Where are you putting yours?
Well, to be honest, after what I've seen last game, my Insanity is for me like a 60-40 chance at the moment. Or actually even more, unless the Morphling gets insanely fed.
I can understand that. I'm going to put my money down and say my Insanity should take this one on draft alone. I didn't get the luxury of seeing game number 1, so based on draft alone, I'm going to say my Insanity should take this. But nonetheless, we do have that 4-man aggressive invasion into the enemy jungle by my Insanity. They're looking for anyone they can find, but Blow Your Brain's going to fall back. He doesn't really want to risk being caught out, so just defensive play all around. We don't have any defensive wards in the dire jungle. We've got a block coming out straight away from my Insanity. They don't want to be giving away the pull if they can, and the only thing they need to worry about is being scouted out by Vigos, but Vigos sees everything. Those treants will be a pesky thing throughout this entire...
Look at PGG. He's a bit out of position here. As a dire hero, he's between the tier 1 and tier 2 sandwich, and actually the Bristleback is coming around. In theory, if they would see him, which they just did, I really think they could secure.
What's he doing?
That's
what I want to know. PGG, he's being very aggressive in the enemy jungle. He's actually looks like he might escape this.
Yeah.
But laning-wise...
To be honest, I think my Insanity just said, like, hey guys, it's not worth to chase PGG here because we would miss, like, oh, but Lizard, look at Lizard!
This is not the place you want to be. Lizard walks up on the high ground. He could be brought down if there was a slope. But The Arcane Bolts, the Storm Bolts are going to come through, both of them. Lizard almost goes down, but now in comes the PA. It's a PA mid up against Vigos in the meantime, but Lizard will drop a stun onto King R. Hides under the tier 1, so no one dies yet, but from where we sit, this is not what I thought we would see, considering right now we have effectively a dual mid between Milan as well as Hatawa, but
It's
up
a
against a
triple
Nature's
mid so
Prophet,
far.
is that necessary? Tri-lane mid against a Nature's Prophet, I don't think is a wise investment of time and levels.
No, I think that's the direct reaction to PTG and like the Scarab Mage here, King R being around. But let's see. The problem is at the moment with that aggressive style, what M5 is doing right now, the Bristleback also has to be careful because they might rotate around and then we see... I mean, the problem is he doesn't have a slow at the moment. We don't have a Morphling wave, and if so, then just a level 1, which is... well, it's everything but really jeopardizing the life of a Bristleback. But let's see, maybe with a stun and all the right clicks, it might work. There's a Wish as a backup, but Bristleback?
No, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. The Arcane Bolts are just going to hail down. I can't see him escaping this one, especially with the TP in from that Nature's Prophet. If he can escape, it will be a miracle, but all it'll take is one more Storm Bolt, a couple of right clicks will come through, and First Blood goes the way of Vigos, which is not the person I would think would get First Blood in this game, but nonetheless, the threat is there from Moscow 5 there, showing they are not to be underestimated in this game.
Yep, and I actually like the early aggression of Vigos here. I mean, it's a Nature's Prophet who's level 3, coming in already, securing that. He gets the 400 gold bonus. Lizard actually picking up a nice regeneration rune. Before that Batch Rider interrupts him, he's almost full on HP and everything. Still, I like the rotation because he gets almost 400 gold out of this one. Buys immediately a TP that's minus 100, so it's still worth the XP, worth the 300 gold you got from that first blood. So in the end, it's efficient. Let's say it like that.
I suppose so, and it does ensure the kill, just having that extra body being able to TP in at all points. I suppose that's the strength of Vigos playing this mid-roll Prophet, but I still expect Milan to do fairly well for himself here. I mean, he's already got his level 4, he's already got 2 points in the dagger and a point in blur, so he's going to start tanking up quite heavily against what is a largely physical-oriented team of Moscow 5.
Yep, I mean the only really magic action is coming out of the Scarab Mage, and maybe the Morphling if you consider that the wave form as like a legit nuke. But that's pretty much it. Still, Milan in the mid, there's one thing you can't deny, obviously. He is ranged versus melee on a lane, and that makes it always harder, and the Treen's doing something on top of it as well. It's not the best. Plus, he has level 2 dagger, and with that dagger he missed a lot of right clicks so far. I mean, a lot of last hits. So let's see where it's going. I mean, he's bottle crowing, so I don't think he's ever gonna be in jeopardy unless we have this rotation, which is coming in right now.
I mean, the other thing to note about that mid lane is just the difference in damage right now. While we'll keep an eye on Milan in case the gank does happen, Milan only has 65 damage per right click. Vigos already is sat up at 75. 10 extra damage does add up a hell of a lot, and he's just out right-clicking and denying quite heavily right now. He's 20 for 4, top of the board, versus Milan on that Phantom Assassin in the mid lane, who's 14 for 2. It shows, and it's going to be a very painful thing in a very short amount of time.
No, but this rotation might end up actually going bottom. I don't think it's enough for the Bristle, but yeah, Hatawa might have to be careful.
Especially with the TP in from Vigos, a couple of right clicks coming through will spell his doom. He does have a Soul Assumption ready to drop, not anywhere near enough to finish off King R though. But trading of right clicks almost gets him unexpectedly. But
Well,
end of the day, you still lose your Visage on a dual V tri-lane. That's not what you want.
and that value stake, like 2 charges on a stake, was completely enough to like really win that little duel. So M5, 2 kills ahead at the moment, and well, they're doing fine. This time, of course, the Nature's Prophet not immediately TPing back, and there's also still more than a minute to go to the next runes, so he can't fill up. That's all time Milan gets in the mid, so I'm not really sure if in the end all those support picks, they might really pay off. Top we have Lizard actually going for just some harass damage on Tron. He doesn't have Tranquils or anything that's really worth to interrupt at the moment, but sure, some harass damage is harass damage.
Indeed, and I'm going to...
Oh, mid! There's a go on PGG. There's the stun coming right now with the Soul Assumption. With the next Stifling Dagger, it should be enough. Just the right click. Just the right click should come, but Milan, no, he decides to go. Oh, with that Sentry Ward.
The sentry ward could be enough. If they hit this Stormbolt, that could be enough with the right-click swing from the Prophet. The Prophet does have Wrath of Nature as well, but they don't decide to go on it, which sort of surprises me. Now they drop the Wrath of Nature. It does some damage across the board, but where's the threat of the kill? It's on that top line. They lose the Ogre to the damage of Tron and King R plus the Wrath of Nature. Now they're looking for Grazine. A couple more right-clicks, a couple more Arcane Bolts. Cook Spell is Doom. He's got 3 stacks, 4 stacks of Napalm. He needs to get away from this one. In comes the TP's response. His Lizard comes in, and Lizard should be enough to force them away now.
Oh, and mid and Milan found PGG here. This time PGG, he doesn't have a stun. Next Stifling Dagger should be... Oh, he just got ready. And the trees are blocking him. PGG, I have no idea how he's surviving all of that, but he is. And bottom, I don't know, there's not really anything happening while Lizard is looking for something. But no, even King R is making out of it. So at the moment, M5 absolutely survival masters. And Vigos, he wants to go for Milan here in the mid. Now miss? No miss? That's the question. This one also no miss, but it's not enough to get a kick.
Now they're going to turn on it though with 1 crit. Can we get more? Not needed. So the Soul Assumption is more than enough.
Well, that was a bit too aggressive here, but oh, look at Smite. Blow your brain, 4 stacks here of the crystals, but with that rotation, now being slowed, oh, he has to be careful here, because Morphling has another wave, but Brown Boots and, yeah, a level 6 Bristle back with, that was 3 stacks of Warpath, way faster.
This is one curious thing I find, though, with this Bristleback. No point in Nasal Goo. We were saying how powerful that Nasal Goo is as a slow. It's a 1.1 to skill for the most part in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, but at this point, it's not really worth it because they don't want to work around the Bristleback. Like, I mean, you saw the only time they rotated in that lane was because there was so much pressure. There was up to 4 people of M5 there. Otherwise, they would just plan on all. But Bristleback, he wants to go for King R. This is a man fight. Now he needed that Nasal Go. Vigos is coming in for the right clicks. There's the Morphling. The wave actually didn't hit him, but who needs a wave if you can just go for your ultimate? Hatava now also being in trouble. He will be scouted out by those treants and blow your brain with the next wave. No, he doesn't even need that one. That is maybe even a nice tier 1 tower on top of 2 kills. Like a very, very tasty trade for M5.
If they can get some more treants in there, that'll be absolutely perfect. But 15-second cooldown on that, that's not going to be exactly the most ideal thing. Top tower, though, PGG, he's going to be forced away from that one. And can we get a tower for a tower, possibly?
Oh, but look, Smite's just coming back into this. Like he's, okay, no problem, but Sprout holding him in place. And yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to be scared. He knew the Morphling and Vigors alone won't be enough, not under a tower.
Indeed, and if he had, say, a Quelling Blade, he could have probably chased for that one, even without the Nasal Goo. It's one of the nicer things about the Bristle. He is so tanky and can turn a fight so easily. But
yep. No Nasal Goo for now. He wanted to go for that 4 points Quill Spray, and the 2 points Bristleback, that's kind of like the basic stuff you need on a Bristleback. From there on a level 8 value point in Nasal Goo, I can totally understand it. But oh, Vigos coming in here on Hatava. There is the range. Yeah, Tron is there, and he will lasso him. Oh, it's just enough. Smite's still there, but I don't think Smite can do anything. Nope, not against 4, but there's more to come. Worse than Visual's Nasal Goo. Now we need it. Look at it. Stifling Dagger actually slows Tron. They're gonna get Tron at least, and Milan maybe even more. But in the background we also have another kill here. Cuisine is going down, even though Blow Your Brain lost 70 damage. Stifling Dagger on him. But Vigos, he wants to go Lizard, but that's a lot of armor you have to chew through. Smite also running away. There's the stun. PGG might actually pay for this, so Milan is getting a second one. This fight is spread all over the world. They got the Ogre in the end as well. So what was that? 3 for 2?
that was 3 for 2, yes, but it's a double kill on both of the carries, so that's going to be quite nice. Blow Your Brain is getting harassed quite heavily as well, and he does eat double crits from the Stifling Daggers. So
Wow.
they're going to lose the tier 1 on the bottom lane, but the PA, the most important hero for my Insanity, got some kills. Solo
I
kills,
guess.
nonetheless.
What is he going for at the moment? No, he's not getting anything. They're getting a smoke and a Quelling Plate on him. A Quelling Plate, obviously against Vigos.
Yep,
So
that's
he's really
gonna be
going
quite
for that
handy.
value plate.
Well, options here, we could go on Milan. You could see the likes of, say, a straight BKB. What would that help against? No more stun from the Sven, waveform going to be muted, as well as reducing that Skywrath to, well, effectively a kitten. But what other options could we see other than the obvious BKB? Could we look for a drum, maybe? Could we see a Battle Fury? I mean, there are a couple of other options, but I'm thinking we're going to see a BKB just go straight from that into maybe Basher and just play the I am PA, I have all of the random procs.
Oh, but look, Vigos is here in the jungle, and the Ogre is there. And I'm saying this because the Ogre is the only one who can stun Vigos away, just preventing him from TPing out. Then again, if he uses that stun immediately, then he can just TP after. So that's what I said in the draft, that I really want to see some stuns. You need stuns against all of these targets, even the Morphling. Killing a Morphling with one stun, it's kind of a hard thing to have. And Blow Your Brain, he's as aggressive as usual. Now that we have the birds up, we have additional stun into the game, but it's a stun that is everything but reliable.
Well, across the board now, we're a good 11 minutes in. Let's take a quick look at the graph, shall we?
Sure.
Team's net worth. I mean, we've got about a 3k net worth lead leading for Moscow 5 off the back of the 7 kill lead that they've got, as well as only about 250 experience lead. I expected more experience out of this one, but mYi, they've been farming very well on their off lane, so that's just been sat there farming up the entire time, that being the Razor, so it's going to help out quite heavily. Zine can try to hold this one back, but PGG does pop that Warcry. They're starting to siege the tower now. Going to help bring this one down, but with the Visage Familiars lurking around, this is going to be a very hard fight in my mind. You've got Grazine, he's starting to come and form up. Hetawa is here as well, though. These two alone
bottom.
Back the bot lane, we unfortunately are going to have Milan escaping this one. He's going to go down to the Firefly, and now they could be looking for the second kill on the Lizard. But there's another fight going on while this is going on as Lizard goes down up in near the top rune. Blow Your Brain gets forced out by the illusions of the Bristleback, and well, the Bristle did get himself into a fight there, but you can't really bring a Bristle down like that. But in comes Vigos. Maybe they can. They don't have a Quelling Blade on them either. Waveform comes through. All of those right clicks aren't going to pay off, though, and Hetawa now comes in. Do they have enough with the Soul Assumption? I don't think they do. They can't get the Focus Fire on Blow Your Brain or Vigos that they need. Both of these guys will walk away, and end of the day, a fight across 3 lanes, only 1 kill.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a nice little go on Vigos. He doesn't have a TP except for his TP scroll, obviously, and that's enough. The birds have cooldown as well, so that's the easy one. Like, if you look at the Ogre inventory, for example, they were planning on a very, very different laning stage. This is not working as mYi really wanted to. I mean, I have to say, Moscow 5, especially if you look at PGG, he escaped now the 3rd or 4th time in a fight with like 50 HP or so, and even now he's so damn low, and he's just getting the hell out there. But that's his playstyle. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We have to see where this one is heading, but mYi, it doesn't look like they really can recover from this, because I don't know, Smite, the farmer on the Bristleback, oh, in the mid, Milan again. Look at all this magic damage, and they just blow up that PA. That's just like a random look, a bigger creep, and they want to go for the Bristleback.
Yeah, well, they're going to try it, but I don't think they can finish off the Bristle. Bristle is just too tanky by half. He's got a Vanguard. He's going to build that into a Crimson Guard. I mean, a Crimson Guard Bristleback, that's a big problem. I'm going to come back to the PA for a second, considering they're not going to be able to kill the Bristle in a million years at this rate. She's got herself a broadsword. Now, I don't think we're going to be seeing a Blade Mail, and I'm surprised we're seeing a Battle Fury.
Yeah, this Battle Fury will be so far away. And the problem is about Battle Furies, if you have it, what now? Like, I don't know, the cleave doesn't really help in this game. I just really don't know. But Smite is a bit under attack, but not very impressive anyway. They just used the wave to get out. Tratata, however, oh, you gotta be careful. Where are the crits? The crits, even without crits, everything's fine. They get their kill.
The negative armor was more than enough provided by the Bristleback. You were saying about the Battle Fury. The Battle Fury is a brilliant farming tool, sure, but we've seen it happen twice now where the Phantom Assassin just gets completely destroyed by the magical damage. The lack of a BKB on Milan, I think, is going to be a big issue going into the mid-game.
Yep. That's really, I think, a big problem. But let's see, Blow Your Brain. Well, he has a TP and a waveform. He can just go anywhere he wants to, putting some damage on Bristleback, but that's about it. I think mYi, they just want to get that tier 1 tower, and that's it. And rightfully so, they should get tier 1 towers. Like, last game they had like a huge problem already because of all that gold missing. This time at least they secure 1. That's the first one, actually.
Well, If they can maintain tower advantage, keep the push going, that can be perfect. They need the momentum for that, though. They need to keep a tower advantage, in my mind, up against Nature's Prophet anyway, because if Vigos can start taking towers without contest, the Prophet will accomplish the Prophet's goal. But in this case, Milan gets focused again. This is what I was saying. You need a BKB.
Yeah, I mean, BKB doesn't change anything about you getting lassoed, but you getting all the magical damage that is there from the Skywrath Mage. At least that would prevent it. I'm not sure if that was enough to survive, but overall, the BKB will be the right choice. So the problem is also that like he doesn't really have any progress right now. There's nothing for him in the courier, so he got like all he got is in his inventory plus 600 gold. That's all she said.
It's a big problem here in my mind. If they keep losing the Phantom Assassin in half a second flat, they're not going to be able to build any momentum. Especially if Vigos also maintains control of all these runes. He's got that bottle and another bounty rune. Vigos has had pick of the litter of runes as well. This is, I suppose, one of the strengths of, say, the highly unusual Nature's Prophet mid. You just maintain all of the rune control forever.
Yeah, pretty much. My Insanity actually, like, they controlled, let's say, about 60-70% of the runes last game. It didn't lead to advantage in early game, but it was a nice sustain for them. However, it seems like they want to focus on the tower. Like, the birds are up, there's a cliff coming, and I don't think this one is contested. I think they're gonna accept this one, because Blow Your Brain is also working on tier 1 tower. But then again, there's a TP by Milan, and no, Milan, you don't have a chance against this one.
Oh, he manages to lasso a familiar. That's not what you want.
Whoa. What do you want to do with that familiar? Now they're like, oh come on, I lassoed it, so I might as well just kill it.
Yeah, killing these familiars isn't the easiest thing, especially when they'll just be thrown down to the ground, they'll regenerate, and it's going to start all over again. I mean, Tron can poke and prod them all he likes. It's a waste of his time. But nonetheless, bottom lane, going to be defended up by Smash and Lizard. If they can maintain the farm down here, it's going to help out. But we've got that Crimson Guard starting to come online for Smash, finally. He's got that Vanguard, got the Buckler. He's only 300 gold away. With that Crimson Guard, how much damage is that going to prevent, though? The right clicks from the Morphling, it'll help neuter. Help with the Nature's Prophet's damage. The problem with the Crimson Guard, it's not going to do anything up against that Skywrath Mage. And that Skywrath's Mystic Flare has done so much work. Speaking of Mystic Flare, going to go on to hardware this time, but now comes the turnaround. PGG in a lot of trouble. All of his damage being stolen by Cuisine. 2 more right clicks will be enough. The Soul Assumption not even necessary. And a good kill going the way of my Insanity.
That was some really fail gank. They actually thought that like the Stormhammer with the Blink Dagger that PGG got, I mean, this is 18 minutes roaming Swen Blink Dagger. It's actually quite an achievement, but I mean, this is due to the fact that he always escapes with 50 HP. That's kind of his meme already. Either way, this was a fail gank. Like, they thought Stormhammer, Mystic Flare is enough, but oh, they find the Ogre in the jungle. So that's an easy one. He doesn't even get the spell off because of the silence. So King R, at least there he managed to do something.
Well, the problem with the Stormhammer Mystic Flare initiation, they went on to a Visage. Visage's Gravekeeper's Cloak is a big problem in that. The magic resistance it offers is fairly high. Even with it being multiple small hits from the Mystic Flare to reduce it very quickly, it didn't mitigate, or didn't stop the mitigation on affecting the Stormhammer. That is a big problem.
Going on the Razor might have done more damage, potentially leading to a kill instead of the Visage. But they thought Visage is the right target. Then again, the Visage is not quite, you know, that support player if you look at the HP. I mean, this is 3 points already in the Gravekeeper's Cloak that you just mentioned. We have a point booster as well as the Casual Orca Club, which all leads into Ghanem Scepter sooner or later. I mean, he is 1,250 away from it, but still. This is 1,300 HP on a support, so maybe not the primary target for this kind of gank.
Well, I suppose they were thinking, yeah, let's slow him down before he gets the Aghanims. Triple familiar Aghanim's Visage is a very nasty thing to deal with. You consider that's an extra stun to every fight. The physical damage it offers as well will help in bringing down the Skywrath Mage, bringing down the Bat Rider. Or more importantly, Vigos on that Nature's Prophet. Speaking of Vigos, he does have himself that Shadow Blade now, so he's going to try to play the split push style, I believe, but I am unsure how effective that's going to be. Nonetheless, though, Blow Your Brain will help himself to that tier 1 on that top lane, and now they're looking to push. How heavily are they going to commit to this tower?
Tron, John wants to heavily commit on that PA. Blink Dagger in, and the lasso is actually coming up. 4 stuff should be back, and yeah, that is definitely enough to kill him. There will be rotations, but those rotations, they won't lead to anything. Tratata is out with the Shadow Blade, so yeah, except for TP costs and a death, that's all that happened.
Well, still, I'll point this out. You've got King R lurking in the side jungle still. He could commit, but no, he's going to TP away. He doesn't want to hang around. Well, just the rotations away, they got the big kill. They got the kill on the Phantom Assassin. They didn't get the tower, but they decided, yep, kill Phantom Assassin, everyone's going to go away, push other lanes. They forced all of the TPs to that lane. That's top tier 2 as well, so that's absolutely perfect for Moscow 5 for the next few moments.
Yeah.
And I partly wonder, where is the show of force? Where is the defense from my Insanity? If they cannot get anything on the board, if they cannot, say, get that bottom tier 1 tower, or get a kill on Vigos, more importantly, they got big problems coming up.
Yep, it's a big problem. I mean, my Insanity, except for the Visage, they had no one who could like sort of benefit from them committing all to the top lane. I mean, he did at least about what 30% damage on that bottom tower, but hey, we're talking about a tier 1 tower 21 minutes in. This is something you just snack away when you have like, I don't know, a fight won and you capitalize on it. It's nothing that should be like really heavily ratted. But then again, looking at my Insanity's net worth and the kills they have at the moment, I think that's all they need at the moment. That tower gold is really valuable to them, especially the PA. I mean, the PA is not even in the top 5 farmers anymore. That was a mid PA with not even a bad start, but ever since M5 just got online with their ultimates plus the Blink Dagger initiations, they just outplay my Insanity. And PA is not one of those carries who survive any of those attacks.
I would personally favour, as you correctly said in the draft, a Spectre. Spectre does have the ability to gain some innate tank. You can also go, if you don't want a Radiance, you could go Manta Crimson Guard or Diffusal Crimson Guard plus that Manta later on.
Exactly. Plus, if they really focus you down and there are some rotations of your team coming, with Dispersion you do so much damage. Like, if they really nuke you down from 100 to 0 HP, you done quite some damage with the Dispersion at least. So, you're at least having some crown where your team can follow up. The problem with the PA is, if PAs is gone, that's all she wrote. Because so far he never managed to survive longer than 2 seconds with the combo they used so far, and from there on it's a 5-on-4 uphill fight.
But now we're unpaused, let's get the flow back going. We'll take a quick look at the graphs once again. About a 7,500 gold lead for Moscow 5 at this point. Over towards experience, it's very much the same story. 7,500 experience lead for Moscow 5 as well, and my Insanity right now needs to do something, because if this lead keeps building like this, it's going to be nigh impossible to recover from. Then again, from what you told me of Game 1, it is doable.
Yeah, it's certainly doable, but then again, they never had like a carry like Milan who's just utterly underfarmed, and history is repeating itself. There, look, John coming in, lasso, there it is, and alone the fire damage is so much that, yeah, I don't even think he needed Blow Your Brain, but just to make sure they got this one. It's another kill, and Razor even managed to deny. Wait, Razor? Oh, he denied that tier 2 tower. That's like the only upside of the last 2 minutes.
But if you look, as soon as the Phantom Assassin was killed, Vigos TP's in, the tower falls. This is going to become a ever-repeating prophecy here enough. One pick-off, in comes Vigos, goodbye tower. I mean,
but that's also the problem with their item choices. Right now they can't really do anything. I mean, going for a Crimson Guard on a Presserback, that's cool. It's probably even in your menu of recommended items, but we don't have we only have a Mac. We don't have, for example, a Pipe, and I'm pretty sure we are far away from Pipe. I mean, the next one who could go for it would be Presserback, I guess. But that's about it.
It would
Either
have
way,
to be the
on the
Presserback,
dire
no one
side,
else
M5,
has
they're gonna get Roshan.
Yeah, they'll get Roshan. Were you saying about items? I'm going to bring this up once more. Take a look at Phantom Assassin. That's 0 item progression in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
There is a Claymore at least in the courier, but that's it. He's still away from the Battle Fury. And even if he gets the Battle Fury, nothing's gonna change about this game. He's dying just as fast. Or actually even faster with M5's item progress. Oh, but let's see. They actually want to do something. Smite is going in, but he's like alone. BGG has to be damn careful here. Smite is going in. They want to steal this Roshan. What's actually happening here? Roshan is going down. Morphling is going to get the H's, but it was snatched, so at least the Radiant is going to get the golden XP, and now Morphling just morphing out. That's about it. Smite, he instantly TPs because he knows that like this is an awkward position, especially with Tron being around.
Well, that fight, that could have gone so much worse for Moscow 5, I'll grant that. But hanging around to that extent when they know they'd have been scouted by the familiars, that was a ballsy play. It was a very ballsy play. It just backfired on this case. And that did do some damage to the graphs. It's brought it down maybe by about 600 gold in favour of...
It's a stolen Roshan, that's it.
A stolen Roshan is always a nice thing, really.
I mean, the only way this fight could have been better, besides kills, would have been the Aegis on my Insanity's side. But right now, M5 actually got quite a slap in their face. Roshan was stolen, and the Aegis they acquired was instantly taken off. So we are pretty much to square one with a tiny bit bonus damage on my Insanity. But it doesn't change the big picture. It remains, and you see it already in mid, what's going on there.
Yeah, Vigos, he'll just come in with that split push and blow your brain. But blow your brain's got himself a replicate up, and there is a haste rune up for Vigos as well. So this is going to be very hard, especially when you've got those sprouts coming through just to annoy and harass away the chasing carries. But at the end of the day, this does not have the impact that my Insanity need. Stolen Roshan isn't enough for them. They need a few more pickoffs, a few more kills, and more importantly, a few more items.
A lot more items, actually.
Phantom Assassin's about to finish up that Battle Fury near it. That's going to help, but she still needs a BKB.
She needs a BKB and she needs a Basher. Yeah. Like, I would have completely skipped that Battle Fury. I don't see a point in this game. Maybe they prove me wrong and we're gonna see some crazy 2k crits later in the game that cleave like through 3 heroes or so. Sure, that might all happen, but so far we are really far away from a late game. This is not happening, to be honest, if it goes this pace. M5 still having the advantage, and you see what they do, or what they started to do. Blow your brain, replicate out. We have Vigos not being able to, like, being sort of interrupted on TPing out, or just say shadow plating away, which means they go for towers, do damage, replicate out, and that's it. Rinse and repeat for 20 minutes, and there's no base anymore.
But what you saying for items, the Battle Fury we've touched on, but what else do they need? They need the pipe up for Smite, definitely, and maybe from there even a Basher for Milan.
But he's not even going for it. Like, I mean, we were suggesting a pipe, considering that how Milan died all the time, for example, but he went for Sanj, which could be either Sangayasha, obviously, or it has to be, and I rather think that's it, it has to be a Halberd.
Yeah, he has enough health for it to be valuable, effective health-wise, for getting dodge over straight health. But right now, well, they're just going to go aggressive, look to get a bit more damage on the tower and a replicate away. They're just going to harass and just annoy. But if you look at Vigos, he's killing all of the familiars. He has that Desolator, and the Desolator on Vigos, not only is he going to shred towers, the familiars cannot stand. He's going to just chew apart heroes. And it isn't actually Heaven's Halberd. He went for the full Sanj and Yasha.
Okay. I'm more and more surprised by the choices of my Insanity in this game, to be honest. I mean, last game they were responding immediately, like, to everything that came out. The only thing about Battle Fury, by the way, about your PA, is that they're faster. But oh, bottom, we have it go. The Razor actually has been focused. The mech is down, and see, that's what they do. Just TP out, and there's nothing on Earth they can do. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even the Ogre is gonna get anything. Only Visage is gonna get a kill on PGG, but that's just in direct response to his death.
And when everyone goes down to the bottom lane, blow your brain, and Vigos suddenly on that top lane, and it all starts over again. This is getting that smell of wet rat onto the game, I believe. No one likes the smell of rat.
I mean, they have 2 potential rats in this game, so why not using it? Obviously, it comes down to this. The Ogre as such is really, really poor. I mean, this Ogre got nothing. And the Courier, actually, no, there's just more consumables and support items coming up. So like all they try to do is like get the Bristle back tanky. They even get him a bit more. I don't know. The Sangayasha, I just don't understand it. I mean, having Sangayasha, cool. You have another slow, you're faster, you have some more HP, etc., etc. But the bashers are not there. Oh my god, there's a multicast on King R. But to be honest, I think the Scarab Mage could have made this just a kill. Just turn around and kill.
Quite possibly, especially with that threat of Vigos being able to come into every single fight. But this is still a very defensive back foot that Mind Sanity are on. What do you think Mind Sanity need, other than the items that we've mentioned, to recover?
To be honest, I really think it comes down to the items. Like right now, I mean, we both gave my Insanity heads up for that draft, but so far we've been absolutely proven wrong. Like Moscow 5 is more than half of the kills I had here, and I really think it comes down to the items. Alright, item choices to interrupt the TPs and to outlive the burst damage, and from there on it's just time and items that will change this game, if it will be changed.
But I hear Stormbolts. What's happened? Where's the fight? Oh, was it just...
King R.
King R, he's going to be in bit of trouble. He's going to force stuff over, but he's going to TP out. He should be safe. I thought I heard a Stormbolt go off, but just there was no Sven fighting. It confused me. It was just farming the creeps in the jungle. Now, I personally wonder what the next objective is here for Moscow 5, because if they just keep this siege going, they could go for the tier 2 in the mid lane. They've already got the tier 2s on the top and bottom. I mean, what more can they want? As Vigos does get scouted out by Milan, but I honestly don't see this being a problem. I mean, he's got that Shadow Blade. Do we have any detection? We've got Dust and the Gem both on to Hatala. Now that will be enough to at least kill Vigos if he oversteps his boundaries, but Vigos has been reasonably good at not being too over-aggressive, and I've seen some games where Vigos has gone balls to the wall aggression, but he's metering it this time. He is
this
smart.
gem is really just for dewarding at the moment. Hatova is doing it absolutely right. He's just getting some vision around, and the Dust is really just for the Nature's Prophet, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna put that gem in the base pretty much soon, because at the moment no one is safe. Everybody could be killed. And the funny part is, in the last, 3-4 minutes, M5 stopped with their single pick-off aggression. We have Tron not really making too much progress as in items. I mean, crucial items for faster dragging someone out, for example. He went for BUT, so he can be anywhere. And of course he has a gem as well, so he can deward and get some map control. But that's pretty much it. I'm kind of surprised, because I still think they could easily get some kills. mYi is alone in the mid, and we had those supports being around in bottom lane. Right now they are hiding behind the trees or looking for someone. I'm not really sure what they're doing.
They're just looking for a pick-off, in all honesty, but just take a look at how Blow Your Brain and the rest of Moscow 5 are playing. Blow Your Brain, pushing that mid lane, just keeping the enemy moving around the map. While my Insanity now go mid, we do have, of course, top lane Tron, and there is PGG, and they can push in this top lane if they want instead.
Yeah. And PGG is transitioning into damage. That's even worse for my Insanity, because right now the clock is already ticking. I mean, you have a Morphling, and a Morphling is always something that is like working towards that really fast being 6-slotted, and that's happening soon. On top of that, now we have PGG farming their jungle. They farm even the Radiant Ancients. That Morphling is completely understood, because, as I said, no stuns whatsoever except the Ogre, but they have to get the Lincolns off, and even an Ogre stun, unless you have like a triple ding ding ding, it's not working.
I can see that, and I suppose right now, because of that lack of stuns from my Insanity, Moscow 5 can basically play 3-card Monty, if you know what I mean. They're going to have the Morphling and the Nature's Prophet go to one lane. When Mind Sanity think they found them, no, they lift up the card, it's not them. It's just, they're going to chase them around the map, and it's just going to waste the time of Mind Sanity, which is going to give a Moscow 5 an exponential lead.
I mean, right now, Moscow 5 could go for different strategies all the way. I mean, they have 2 rats, potential rats, and Blow Your Brain, and that's the funny part. I think he could be, if he wanted to, more aggressive. He could have gotten that tier 2 tower in mid already, but right now he's just happy taking the Ancients away from the Radiant side. So my Insanity's farm is all... yeah, it's all just based on the 2 mid camps, the neutrals, and whatever the enemy is pushing in. But that's it. And the rest of the map is completely controlled by M5. They control 70-80% of the map at the moment, and as in GPM and net worth, we obviously see that one.
Well, we could have a bit of a rotation here onto Vigos. Here's in comes the smoked team. They're going to go straight onto Vigos. He gets dusted. There's no way to escape, and they finally get a kill. This is the first kill we've seen in a few minutes. And, oh, it breaks the monotony. But
I mean, it's a good XP change. This is 3.5k experience change just for this, but you must not forget that they completely... yeah, I mean, this was a smoke. 100 gold for this one, and 4 people not doing anything else but looking for another pick off. And he wasn't even on a killing spree, dominating or godlike or anything like that. So it's sure it feels like some sort of relief, but they need more of that. Preferably like 5 or 6 of them. Then we can talk about something.
Well, Roshan has respawned. He could be the next order of business, but now, well, in comes another smoke. Smash is just lurking around there. He could get a kill on King R here. That would be ideal. And they find him. There's no escape for King R, or is there? He 4-staffs up to the high ground. He's actually stuck on the cliff there, but they need to contest the Roshan. If my Insanity can help himself to a 3 Rosh, this could actually be very fortuitous for them.
This is a bad idea in my opinion.
PGG, blow your brain. They want to fight this one, and with a good Stormbolt, they can certainly do so. But where are the rest of the team? In the back line, so you've got Tron. He blinks in. Can he grab it? No. Phantom Assassin picks up the Aegis, and Razor will just obliterate Tron. This could be the potential engine for a turnaround that my Insanity need. It's not going to be easy, though. They need to find and kill. Ideally, PGG then push up this middle lane. Hell, PGG, if he rotates far enough away, he can be ignored. They can just push the mid.
Right now, I felt like one of those homeless guys putting up like signs like the end is near stuff, because I was really pessimistic about this fight. I thought this is a horrible mistake to go into that Roshan and risk it, because I mean, there was Fireflight up, there was Flamebreak potentially pushing you like on the high ground, and then they just snack you away with Tron. But in the end they got Roshan and 2 kills and 1 kill before, so the comeback can start. Now Phantom Assassin actually has a Black Kingba, so yeah, we start to talk now with the PA. He's coming back. Welcome back to plays. Yeah, he's on the 5th position right now in the network. Still, there's a long way to go. 7-8k difference to the 2 farmers on F5 side, but it's starting.
Speaking of fighting, it is starting. They go for the last one to Smite. They're going to drag him back. Where's Vigos in the meantime? He's just working on to Hatwa, but there is, of course, the turnaround up on that top part of the fight. The Stormbolt locks onto Smite, but the Crimson Guard won't protect him forever. PGG picks up the kill. Can Sven get any more? He gets 1, he gets 2. This time it's Vigos getting that final hit with that Daedalus right click. And now in comes PGG once more. He wants a 3rd. He gets himself Milan, but in comes the Aegis. This is going to be a 2nd kill on him, potentially. Needs to TP out. He doesn't have a TP, though. Milan will fall again, most likely. A couple of right clicks will spell his doom. In comes Blow Your Brain. All of the damage in the world, and well, that's a 3 for 1.
Yeah.
Hell, that's a 3 for 1 plus an Aegis in favor of Moscow 5.
Plus a gem. You can build up that pyramid of disaster announcements, pretty much. This is a 3-on-5, minus Aegis, minus gem. Well, it's a horrible fight. I mean, I was surprised how long Smite lived there. Like, he survived ages. I don't know how many ultimates he survived, but it doesn't really matter. Like, they didn't really benefit off it. Even the bristle damage was kind of limited, and yeah, with all them down, look at Blow Your Brain's damage at the moment on the tower with the Manta.
Yep, as soon as that formation goes down, this is going to start to melt. Can they hold this? I don't think that if the full force of Moscow 5 came down on this, they'd be able to, especially with that PA dead, but Replica away by the Morph, and the siege just continues. They don't need to overcommit. They're just playing this as slow as they want. And Blow Your Brain even has himself a Skadi now. This is beginning to get that little bit ridiculous.
I still think M5 should be careful with playing it slow. I mean, right now, we just saw what Blow Your Brain did. Went into the base, did about 50% on a tower that was with Manta, but it was also with Cliff. So I really think he should come up with more. I mean, he's doing it right. He's going in, and as soon as they pop his Lincoln Sphere, he's just replicating out. So everything should be fine, but I think they should do it more often, more aggressively, because by now they could already be through one of the tier 3 towers. That's at least how I could see this game evolving soon for M5, but it seems like they lost interest in objectives as soon as all the other towers were down.
Yeah, which to me doesn't sit right. I mean, you wait too long to push the high ground, the enemy will have something to respond with. I mean, if you have the advantage, you push the advantage. When you're ahead, you get more ahead. You don't sit around.
And there's a PA waiting on the other side, as well as Smite getting tankier and tankier. So sure, your Morphling is gonna have some nice right clicks and everything, but still, like, if it really comes to one-on-one Milan versus Morphling, sure, at the moment the Morphling wins, but with support, the Morph just being held in place by some stuns or being slowed, no replicate out, I think Milan will in the end be victorious.
Now, again, the game slowed down a bit in pace, or has it? We've still got Blow Your Brain poking around in the spotlight. He does have a replicate up, but
Doesn't want to use it.
He's just pulling away and biding his time. And mYi are having to invest so much in stopping Blow Your Brain. The rest of his team are just doing whatever they want.
Yep. They farm. That's the funny part. I mean, Vigors, like, this is some nasty farm.
Now with an MKB.
Yeah.
MKB, AC, Daedalus, and Shadowblade. Talk about having all of the negative armor in the world, all of the right click in the world. This is incredible.
This is minus 12. I mean, do the math on this one. This is minus 12 on Milan, and with the MKB, no chance to dodge it. So all the damage of the Nature's Prophet is coming in almost not mitigated. So right now he's hitting for 300 damage on a PA who only offers us 1.4k, and this is really bad news. Vigors can stand still and go man fight the PA at the moment.
Assuming crits don't land, but yes.
Okay, yeah, the 2k lucky crits on first sight or something, yeah, that's something you can never really take into account, but well, if there's a team fight and he's not getting immediately blown up, like he is having the better cards.
But now we've got another F-Blade coming up. This time it's on the Scarif Mage, but now we're starting to fight on Blow Your Brain. He's just going to replicate out. This just forced the Eye of the Storm. This was not the ideal thing to do.
This is just forcing everything. I mean, Blow Your Brain can come in, and it comes down to what I already said, like no stuns, no nothing. And yeah, he's just doing so much damage, getting a familiar here and there, stealing Radiant Jungle Farm, getting the lanes pushed towards, like forcing even the Visage back to the fountain, and all that just for the cost of his replicate cooldown. That's all it costs them. So that's why I'm saying, like, in my opinion, they should go for objective damage. But talking about damage, I think PA is gonna get damaged. Look at it, Lasso holding him in place, and the right clicks of Vigors, easy one. If that wasn't enough, Blow Your Brain would have been somewhere in the vicinity joining the fight.
Indeed, that's just a show of force coming out of Vigos on that Nature's Prophet right now. A mid-Nature's Prophet, I didn't think it would be ideal, but proving that it is a viable one here.
That was just the pure damage of Lasso being held in place and the right clicks of Vigors. I think that was like 7 hits or so. That's a mid laner PA being killed by a Nature's Prophet in 7 hits. And those hits, they're gonna be way lower if there's other heroes involved or other damage sources.
What does Vigos go next item-wise, though? Here's a question for you.
I mean, selling that Midas and going for... That's the big question. I mean, he could just go for crit if he wants to.
Crit? No, it's going to be a cheap
Hex.
stick, it seems like.
Hex.
Get that Hex, just look for more control. But I'm just watching the map, though. They are playing it so slow. I feel like Moscow 5 could have ended this 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
well, maybe
it
not
really
20,
feels
but
like
you
this.
get my point.
Just Blow Your Brain. Right now, for example, he has double damage. Look what he does on a Prissaback. I mean, on a Prissa, literally hitting the back. And right now, just send everything on the tower. Look what he does just with his illusions. He's getting like a third damage just with his Manta illusions on the tower. In my opinion, he could commit a bit more, and Vigos could also do something more. But Moscow 5, you're right. They take in really the slow approach, and well, they gotta be careful. My Insanity pulled once the Joker out of their head and came back on a fight or on a game like this. Looking at the graphs, we have 25k now in experience, and we're heading towards like a time of the game where, how can I say this? Oh look, they're gonna focus on the Phantom Assassin replicate in the mid, just so he doesn't have a replicate to replicate out. So blow your brain, he won't go near that base anymore.
Not for a whole 67 seconds, and still, it's not going to be enough. I mean, this is the other thing. I will say, while my Insanity are being given time, they are doing something good with it. I mean, you consider Smash, he's got himself an AC, he's got the Crimson Guard and that Sanjin Yasha. He's starting to do a formidable amount of damage, considering his negative armor.
Look at the Scarab Mage. I didn't even see that one. I completely
I
slipped
called
my
that
attention.
one a little while ago. That Ethereal
Blade.
Blade. That Ethereal Blade will be stupid, but speaking of stupid, in comes the damage of Big Awesome. There is no escape. You have no hope.
Yeah, no hope whatsoever. Either way, I'm gonna finish my thought there from like about half an hour ago with the graph. It's also like what, heading towards the 23, 24k mark in gold. So right now, like looking at those graphs there, it's just Moscow 5, the one who can lose something. For my Insanity, they can throw everything in one pot, shake it, and hope it's, yeah, the right soup that's coming out of it.
Pretty much. And again, the slow play. I don't know if it's necessary, but now in the mid lane, they're going to go for it. PGG going to be the focus, though. He gets one multi-class on him. They're going to bring him down at this rate. And killing PGG is all well and good, but you still got Blow Your Brain, who's running, and he's got to Tron. Could they turn around on this? They have King R nearby as well. Who do they need? They need Bigos, but Bigos is in the base. And, well, Nature's Wrath does what Nature's Wrath pleases. Gets himself a tier 3. But back on that main fight, Smite will go down. We're not going to be able to survive that one. Milan's going to be the next target, and in comes Vigos again. Vigos is everywhere. Vigos on a mega kill. Gets another kill and just keeps the pressure going. They're going to go for the top tier 3 as well. I don't think there's much that my Insanity can do to stop this if they commit. But again, Vigos is going to head off and go elsewhere. Same for King R, which sort of surprises me since...
This fight could have been much better, but the problem is that Vigos forced the others, the supports, being back. Like if Milan and Smine here had a stun, something to work with, it would have been all cool, but oh, Blow Your Brain, being force stuffed out. But he has another replicate, the replicate actually being killed, and now that's kinda dangerous. He has another waveform in 2, but whoa, what's happening here? Scarab Mage? Okay, what?
I'm not sure what happened to King R there, he must have lagged. There are some issues with the service still, ladies and gentlemen. I'm even getting spikes on occasion, so bear with us on that. And Vigos, he's going to go for Roshan again. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did it feel to you that if Vigos would have gone for that tier 3 on the top lane, they would have got it?
I'm not quite sure, but Moscow 5, they don't want to risk it, and now they just want to go for Roshan. I mean, they got an awesome fight, they got a better trade, as in fights, they got Rex, so... Getting the Roshan now is really the safe course of action, even though, yeah, it just slows the game down. Then again, look what Vigos is doing. There's still creeps, or there were still creeps in the base, and he's just ratting the tier 3 tower, and now he's gone.
I suppose he's just proven to us that he don't care what happens with his team. He can get the base on his own, but Morphling will help himself to an Aegis. Cheese will go on to PGG, and PGG isn't exactly doing light on items himself. He has himself a Daedalus as well as a Blink and a BKB.
I don't even know why
going
PGG's
Master
playing.
Madness.
Like seriously, PGG, as I know PGG, he would usually be AFK right now, but oh, what's Blow Your Brain doing here? Now that he has the confidence of the ages, he's just going for it. No, but seriously, PGG, he could just, I don't know. Like, I mean, this is a support Sven.
Yeah, well, now they're just going to unload Hatawa, taking a lot of damage. In comes that Stormbolt, doesn't connect on one, but it doesn't matter. The F-Blade is there to buy a little bit of time, but down goes the Visage. Now they're going to look for, most likely, Smai here, but I hear a Bat Rider Lasso. In the meantime, backlines, they lose themselves the Razor to Vigos and the Bat, but still, main fight going on. Smai taking a lot of damage from Blow Your Brain. He's not going to escape this one, I don't think, especially now that Tron comes in. He's just going to trade blows into Lizard, but in comes Milan. Looks to try to finish off anyone, but the F-Blade comes through from King R, saves the life of the Morphling and obliterates that Phantom Assassin within the Mystic Flare. And it does not matter at the end of the day. GG is called. Moscow 5 taking the game.
I mean, when a support Swan is going full YOLO on you, I mean, on a Prissaback, and a PA with a BKB, supported by a Visage and the Ogre, then you know this game is lost. This game was so lost. Yeah, I guess they just wanted to hear the GG. Either way, they heard it, and rightfully so. So it's a 1-1. Here in a JDL, it's best of 2 games, so yeah, in the group stage. I think Moscow 5 is gonna play tomorrow again, also here on HeflaTV. Either way, guys, and that's it for now. I'm gonna go and then later on HeflaTV 3 with Heroes of the Storm, but for now we just take a break. And thanks for coming, Mr. Blackadder, for us both how you say that, like flu-stricken people? Disease-riddled people. Yeah, casters being sick, it's always a bad thing, but we're getting slowly through it. Our voices are recovering. And let's see where this one is heading. I mean, the next big tournament is coming in November, and till then we should all be fine, up and running. Either way, guys, thanks for tuning in. As usual, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. The VODs will be uploaded within the next half an hour or so on our YouTube, so go there as well if you missed game 1 or so. And that's pretty much it. Then good evening, everybody.